एक मिनट। So hello, what's up? How is everyone doing? Welcome to the PE Question Banks discussion session. I hope my audio and video. I hope my audio and video is crystal clear for all of you. Quickly give me a heads up in the chat box if it is crystal clear for all of you. Do let me know. Do let me know. Do let me know. Is the audio video all good? Everyone, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, all of you. So yes, these will be your English English full English question bank sessions of professional ethics. Welcome everyone for this session. Now sir, what we are going to do, we are going to discuss some amazing questions, amazing questions of your professional ethics question bank. ठीक है sir. Now let's begin. सबसे पहले, first of all, let's begin with question number 4. So it is my request to everyone, that you just open your question bank booklets, ठीक है? And then whatever question I am discussing, you have to keep participating. And give me the answer. You got the point or not? Yes, sir. So first of all, let's start with question number 4. Everyone, please look at the question and give me the answer in the chat box. P, a chartered accountant in practice, provides management consultancy and other services to his clients. So first of all, can a CA in practice provide management consultancy and other services? Answer is yes. Which section allows you to provide management consultancy and other services? Section 2, subsection 2, clause 4. Section 2, subsection 2, clause 4. Yes or no? Yes, sir. During 2020, looking to the growing needs of the client to invest in the stock market, he also advised them on portfolio management services. Now you people tell me, can a CA in practice go to the pub? This is what we learned in the class. Can a CA in practice go to the pub? Answer is no. What do I mean by pub? Pub means portfolio management, underwriting and broking services. These services are not allowed. So everyone just look at the way how you need to write your answer. First of all, you will quote section 2, subsection 2, clause 4. And you will say that for a CA in practice, entire range of management consultancy and other services have been permitted by the council. Okay, sir. Then, Baba, what you need to write? Sir, you need to give 1 or 2 activities that a CA in practice is allowed to do. For example, he can file the documents with SEBI. He can act as an advisor or consultant to issue. He can help in drafting of the prospectus, selection of the broker. But what is something that he is prohibited to do? Sir, pub. Pub is not allowed. Pub means he cannot do broking services. He cannot do underwriting services. He cannot provide portfolio management services. These are not permitted. Hence, the CAP will be guilty of misconduct. Yes or no? Yes, sir. Is it CA final topic? Yes, it is CA final topic. Now, everyone, come to question number 6. Please come to question number 6 and let's read question number 6 together. Mr. K, a CA, gave 50% of the audit fees received by him to a non-chartered accountant under the nomenclature office allowance. And such an arrangement continued for a number of years. Discuss in the light of professional ethics. Which clause will get attracted here? Please tell me in the chat box. Which clause will get attracted here? Sir, sharing of fees is not allowed under clause 2. In clause 2, you cannot give. In clause 3, you cannot take. In clause 2, you cannot give. In clause 3, you cannot take. Now tell me one thing. What was that thing that we studied in clause 2? Sir, CA in practice shall be deemed to be guilty of professional misconduct if he pays or allows or agrees to pay or allow any share com bro. Do with me. Any share com bro. Share com bro means share, commission or brokerage in the fees or profits of his professional business to any person. He will be guilty other than his partner or retired partner, legal representative of deceased partner, or a person having membership of professional body or prescribed qualification for the purpose of rendering professional services in India, outside India. So basically, first of all, you will start your answer with clause number 2 only that we learnt in the class. Then, sir, you will say that nomenclature doesn't matter. Name of the transaction doesn't matter. It is substance over form. So nomenclature of the transaction is not material, but it is the substance which is to be looked into. The same line is given in your notes. So you will say Mr. K will be guilty under clause 2 part 1 of first schedule to C Act 1949. You're getting the point or not? Yes, sir. Now everyone come to question number 7. Quickly. Mr. X, who passed his CA examination of ICI on 18th July 2020, he started his practice from 15th of August 2020. ठीक है सर. On 16th August 2020, one female candidate approached him for articleship. In addition to the monthly stipend, so to the female candidate, he was giving the monthly stipend. In addition, he gave her 1% of the profits of the firm. He gave her what? Sir, he gave her 1% of the profits of his CA firm also in addition. Got it? Got it, sir. She agreed that she will take 1% profits. She is having full fun and also she will take the stipend. ICAI sent a letter to Mr. X that this is not allowed and Mr. X replied that he is just paying 1% of the profits because article clerk financial position is very bad. Do we need to get emotional by these lines in the exam? Answer is no. So again, what you will do? Quote clause 2 and again he's giving a share of profits and fees. So whenever you are giving share of profits and fees, you will be guilty. So just quote the facts of the case and say Mr. X is guilty. Enjoying or not? Yes, sir. Now come to question number 13. Now everyone come to question number 13. Yes, sir. We are on question number 13. Amazing question. Mr. A. Mr. A is a practicing CA working as a proprietor of Messrs. A and Company. Whatever questions we are doing, just tick mark these questions. Okay, you will enjoy. Mr. A is a practicing CA working as a proprietor of Messrs. A and Company. He went abroad for 3 months. So whenever a CA goes abroad, we all know he must have asked someone to sign the things. So he delegated the authority to Mr. Y, a CA who is employee. Oh my God. He delegated the authority to take care of the routine matters. During the absence, these jobs were done as a part of routine matter. Can the employee give audit queries? Answer is yes, no problem, it is allowed. ठीक है sir. Can he issue a production certificate? Can he issue a production certificate? Can certification and opinion be given? Answer is no. This is not a routine work. This is not a routine work. This is not allowed. Got it, sir. And the third point says he attended income tax proceedings. Can income tax proceedings be joined? Answer is yes. You can attend the income tax proceedings. What was the section that I taught you in the class? That I asked you to learn. It will be helpful in writing the exams. Which section will come here? 288. 288. So Baba, how do you need to write your answer? First of all, you will quote clause number 12. Clause 12, part 1 of your first schedule. It says what? A CA in practice shall be deemed to be guilty of professional misconduct. Again, when, sir? If he allows a person. Which person? A person who is not a member of institute in practice, who is not a CA in practice, or if he is a member of the institute, he is not his partner. So either the person is not a CA in practice or the person is not his partner. Sir, allow what? To sign on his behalf or behalf of his firm. To sign on his behalf or behalf of his firm, sir, what is the person signing? Sir, the person is signing the financial statement. Financial statement means balance sheet and P&L. Balance sheet and P&L or any type of report. You got the point or not? Yes, sir. So this is the thing that you need to consider. Just give me a second. I will just mention in the title of the video that it is for CA final, because some inter students are getting attracted and they are saying, sir, what we are doing? Okay. So here we are talking about clause number 12. Now in clause number 12, there are certain things which are allowed in routine nature. So issue of audit query is a routine nature activity, no misconduct. This is how you need to give your conclusion separately for each thing. Got it, sir? Second thing, issuance of production certificate. It is not a routine work, so the person will be guilty. And the third thing is attending the income tax proceedings as per section 28, it is allowed. So there is again no misconduct. Is question number 13 clear to all of you? One of the favorite questions of ICAI asked again and again in the exams. Got it? Got it, sir. Now let's go to question number 18. Chalo. Again, question 18 is similar to what we just covered before. Okay? Sir, what if we forget the clause? You will don't get marks. So what should we do? We should not remember the clauses. Sir, we should. We should remember the clauses properly so that we can score the best of the marks. Now comes question 18. Question 18 says what? Mr. S, the auditor of ABC Private Limited, has delegated following works to the article and staff. Again, whenever I am talking about delegation, which clause is attracted? Clause number 12. Issue of audit query, same thing we covered in the last question, allowed. issue of memorandum of cash verification and other verification. Is memorandum wala thing allowed? Answer is yes. Memorandum of cash verification, other verification is allowed because that is just a format. Got it, sir. Draft observation and financial statement, is it allowed? Yes, sir. Draft wala thing is allowed. Acknowledgement for the records produced, is it allowed? Answer is allowed. But signing the financial statement of the company, is signing wala part allowed? Is the authority of signing allowed? Answer is no, this is not allowed. So again, how will you write the answer? First of all, clause number 12. Then whatever 5 points are given, just write the 5 points in the answer and then say, these basic things are allowed. Now many of you may get confused, sir, do we need to learn the whole list? Answer is no, just write 4 to 5 pointers that you can recall. That draft observations are allowed. See, points you can lift from here only. Memorandum is allowed, audit queries is allowed, acknowledgement is allowed, tax proceedings as per section 288 is allowed. So whatever 4 to 5 points you are able to recall, just write that. And in the conclusion you will write, sir, for the first 4 tasks, the person is correct, no problem. Got it, sir. But guilty for allowing to sign the financial statements. You're getting the point or not? Yes, sir. So in the last question, there were only 3 points. So separate conclusion was given. But here what they did, since there were 5 points, so they clubbed 4 points together and said that this is correct, this is allowed. And for the last one, they said it is a misconduct. Got it, sir. Now, once we are done with question number 18, let's start with question number 23. Come on. Everyone ready? Yes, sir. This is one of my favorite questions. Everyone, please read it with me. C.A. Sant, a newly qualified professional with a certificate of practice, approached C.A. Pant, the auditor of the father's company, Messrs. Max Limited, to allow him to have some practical and professional knowledge and experience in his firm before he can set up his own practice. So there is a C.A. Pant, he has a practice and C.A. Sant is approaching C.A. Pant. Got it, sir. C.A. Pant allowed him to sit in his office for 6 months and gave him a small chamber with the office infrastructure facility. In the course of his association with C.A. Pant's office, he used to provide tax consultancy independently to the clients of the firm and also filed IT and GST return and represented before the tax authorities on behalf of the firm, although no documents were signed by him. Tell me one thing, can I say C.A. Pant has allowed C.A. Sant, and now what is happening, sir, when C.A. Pant is not there? When C.A. Pant is not there, who is providing the tax consultancy? C.A. Sant. Who is representing to the client? C.A. Sant. So can I say C.A. Sant is practicing on behalf of C.A. Pant? Can I say C.A. Sant is practicing on behalf of C.A. Pant? Answer is yes. And is C.A. Sant getting any salary? No. If he is not getting any salary, can I say he is not the employee of the company? Sir, he is not the employee of the company. Is he getting any share of profits or commission? No. So can I say he is not the partner of the person? Answer is yo. So if he is not the employee or partner, can he represent a CA in practice? Can he represent a CA in practice? Answer is no. After the agreed term, he was given 3 lakh rupees and this is all about it. Now you people tell me who will be guilty under which clause? Who will be guilty under which clause? So sir, basically C.A. Pant, who has allowed C.A. Sant, he will be guilty. Oh, so C.A. Sant who has allowed C.A. Pant who has allowed C.A. Sant, he will be guilty under which clause? Clause number 1. We studied under clause 1 that for a person to practice in your name, that person should be a CA in practice. That person should be a CA in practice plus either your partner or employee. So clause 1 says a CA in practice shall be deemed to be guilty of professional misconduct if he allows any person to practice in his name as a CA unless such person is also CA in practice and is in partnership or employed by him. Sir, this thing to every student will write. What will the most students miss? This part, the supporting line of this clause. Why is this clause there? Sir, because of 2 reasons. First of all, you need to make sure the person practicing in your name is a CA in practice. So you are trying to safeguard the public against unqualified accountants who are practicing under the wheel of chartered accountants. Got it, sir? Second thing, if the other person is your partner or employee, then it ensures what? Sir, it ensures that the work will be under his control and supervision. So these two things you have to link with these two lines. Sir, what about this third para? Just copy and paste from the question. Just copy and paste from the question, and last mein you will write CA Pant will be guilty of professional misconduct because he allowed CA Sant to practice in his name, who is neither his partner nor his employee. Now many students get confused here with clause number 2. They feel that clause 2 will be attracted, but Baba, tell me one thing. Clause 2 gets attracted when you are sharing your profits with a person who is not a CA. Is a CA Sant a CA? Answer is yes, he is a CA. So when he is a CA, why will clause 2 get attracted? Why will clause 2 get attracted? Because another member is a CA, so this is allowed. So you will make the CA Pant guilty under clause number 1. This question has been asked in May 19 new syllabus, MTP April 22 and May 23. Clear or not? Clear, sir. Now everyone come to question number 33. Chalo. Sir, what does question 33 talks about? Everyone please focus here. This question was asked in May 19 old syllabus. Okay, focus. Mr. A, a CA in practice as a sole proprietor in Mumbai, has an office in suburbs of Mumbai. Everyone please tell me, is suburbs considered a part of Mumbai or it is treated outside Mumbai? Which one will get attracted here? This is a question of your section 27 branch wala provision. Please tell me. Is it treated as a part of Mumbai or outside Mumbai? Sir, it is not treated as a part of Mumbai. It is treated outside Mumbai. So he says due to increase in the income tax assessment work, he opens another office. So that means second office. This second office is near the income tax office, which is within the city and at a distance of 30 kilometers from his office in the suburbs. So one office is in suburbs, another is within the city. So what is the distance limit which is allowed? Sir, 50 kilometers. 50 kilometers ka distance is allowed for the second office as an exception. So examine the above. Will the person be guilty? Answer is no, because it is within 50 kilometers, he will be allowed. So you will write as per section 27, whenever you have more than one office. Whenever you have more than one office, you need to keep a CA as a in charge of that office. Got it, sir? Now there are three exceptions. Second office can be in the same building, it can be in the same city, or it can be within 50 kilometers from the municipal limits of the city. Any of these three conditions you can satisfy. Then write the facts of the case and say this is not a misconduct. Got it? Got it, sir. Now everyone come with me. Let's move to question number 42. 42, where are you? 42, where are you? So 42 is here. I think 42 is a question we have already covered as a part of the class. So this you can mark as your homework because we have already done. Sir, what does question 42 talks about? Everyone just look at me. I'll just give you a quick summary. So there is a person whose office is located in Manali. Okay, sir. Can a person whose office is located in Manali open an office in the plain areas? Answer is yes, he can open. For how many months? 3 months. 3 months के लिए he can open the office. अच्छा, are these 3 months necessary to be November, December, January? Or ICI allows May, June and July? Sir, ICI allows May, June and July. There is no problem. Okay, sir. When I am leaving this office and coming to this office, do I need to close the office in hilly areas? No, sir. You don't need to close the office in the hilly areas. You can quickly come to the plain areas. No problem. Acha, this office in the plain areas is my place of business or a temporary place of business? Sir, it is a temporary place of business. So don't mention it as a place of business on your professional documents. You got the point or not? Yes, sir, we got the point. Whenever you are opening this office and closing the office, whenever you are opening the office and closing the office, you need to inform ICAI. You need to inform ICAI. So how you need to write the answer? Just understand. First of all, you will quote section 27. Then whatever conditions that I just discussed with you, just need to write it in a summarized format. Then consider it with the facts of the case and write last may say, no penal action needs to be taken against the person. Acha, tell me one thing. In case of hilly areas, is the 50 kilometers wala point valid? Is it relevant that the hilly area and plain area should be within 50 kilometers? Is it relevant while solving the question? The answer is no. Sir, this thing is irrelevant. So even if in the question they say that the hilly area is Kodaikanal and the other area is Madurai, which is 100 kilometer, this is just given to confuse you. This is just given to confuse you. It has no relevance when you are solving the question. Now quickly come with me to question number 34. Now you can come with me to question number 34. Sir, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? I like to play with the questions. Chalo, come to question 34. CAP, a newly qualified chartered accountant in practice, in order to increase his professional practice and client base, enters in an agreement with Mr. A, who is a registered valuer, to share 20% of the professional fees or all cases of valuation referred to him by CAP. Based on this, CAP received 1,20,000 from Mr. A. Is CAP guilty? So first of all, in clause 2 you cannot share the money. Can in clause 3 you take the money? Answer is no. If you are not able to share the money in clause 2, you cannot take the money in clause 3. So the right answer will be, sir, as per clause 3 part 1 of first schedule, a CA in practice shall be deemed to be guilty of misconduct if he accept or agrees to accept. If he accepts or agrees to accept any POP, POP means part of profits of the professional work of a person who is not a member of the institute. So a member cannot share the fees with the non-member, provided whatever is allowed in clause number 2, this the other person can take the share in clause number 3 also. So you will relate it with the facts of the case and write CAP will be guilty. Now my question to all of you, if the registered valuer in the given case, he was a CA, then again will he be guilty? Answer is no. If he was a CA, then not guilty, because from a CA you can take the money. From a CA you can take the share commission. This is allowed, not an issue. Now come with me to question number 34 is done. Now I think we can go to question number 87. Chalo. Let's do question number 87. Awesome. See the question here. Mr. X is a practicing chartered accountant. Mr. Y is a practicing advocate. Representing the matters in court, X and Y decided to help each other in the professional expertise. Accordingly, Mr. X recommends Mr. Y in all the litigation matters, and Y consults X in all the matters related to finance, and they started sharing profit with each other. Is Mr. X liable for misconduct? So you people just tell me. Can a CA in practice share the money with the lawyer? Answer is yes. Can he take the money from the lawyer? Answer is yes. So I hope you remember all the persons with prescribed qualification and membership of professional body. Who were they? Sir, very simple. Our sister institute, company secretary and CMA. With both cost accountant, we can share the money. Then AAA. What was AAA? Actuary, architect, advocate. Actuary, architect, advocate. Advocate is similar to lawyer. And then we discussed about engineer and MBA. Engineer and MBA. So these were the points that we discussed. So first of all, you will write the two clauses here. Clause 2 allows sharing. Clause 3 allows taking. So clause 2, clause 3. And then you will say what? Sir, whoever is covered in regulation 53A, you can share the profits and take the profits. And last May, Mr. X will not be guilty. You got the point or not? Yes, sir. Now everyone, come with me to question number 89. Let's do question number 89 together. Mr. X and Y. Mr. X and Y, the partners of a CA firm, one in charge of the head office, another in charge of the branch at the distance of 80 kilometers. Puts up a name board of the firm in both the premises and their respective residences. Please tell me, can the firm ka name board be kept at the residence? Is it allowed? Yes or no? The answer is no. Because when it's about the residence, you can put CA Shubham Keswani. You can put CA Shubham Keswani. So CA Shubham Keswani means it should be a name plate. It should be a name plate, not the board of your firm. So see what it says. Council of ICI has decided with regard to the use of no name board, there is no bar in putting a name board at the place of residence. But remember, it should be of the member with the designation CA That means it should be a nameplate or board of individual member, not of the firm. Then you talk about the facts of the case and say the person is guilty of misconduct. This person is guilty of misconduct. That's all that you need to write. So I think 89 question is also done. Let's move to question number 94. Oh my God. Everyone, please look at question number 94. See what it says. It's a good question. Most of the students get confused in it. Mr. C, a CA in practice, allowed his brother-in-law, Mr. P, who is not a chartered accountant, to practice in the name of CSC. Got it, sir. He also allowed Mr. T, who is his employee in the firm, to practice in his name. Whether Mr. C is correct in allowing Mr. P and Mr. T, the employee, to practice in the name. Now you people tell me. Now you people tell me, sir, there are two people who have allowed P, who is not a chartered accountant, and T, who is an employee, but nothing is mentioned whether he is a CA in practice or not. Whether he is a CA in practice or not. So, sir, when nothing is mentioned, you have to assume. Because here in this case, they have specifically said that he is not a CA. So in this case, what we will assume? Sir, we will assume that this person will be a CA in practice. This person is a CA in practice. So if this is a CA in practice, this is allowed. This is allowed. Brother-in-law is allowed. So everyone will write clause 1 first, then the facts of the case and say CAC will be guilty for allowing Mr. P, not Mr. T. Good question or not? Yes, sir. Ekdam good question. So all your questions till clause number 4. All your questions till clause number 4 are done. Now let's do some amazing question. Everyone take 2 sips of water and we are going to begin with the next set of questions for professional ethics. Chalo. Everyone ready? Yes, sir. Now we are going to begin with question number 8. Let's see what does the question number 8 talks about. Everyone focus here. Chalo. Messrs XYZ. Messrs XYZ, a firm in practice, develops a website xyz.com. Can a XYZ named firm develop a website by xyz.com? Answer yes. The name is fine. Color chosen for the website were very bright green and the website was to run on push technology. Do you have any problem with the color? Answer is no, sir. Color can be anything. Color can be anything. It can be neon pink, it can be neon red, it can be neon pink. Whatever color you want, you can keep the color. We don't have any problem. But if I talk about technology, it should not be push technology. It should be pull technology. Yes or no? Yes, sir. Names of the partners and the major clients were to be displayed. Acha, tell me one thing. When you are doing such type of things, this should be in bold. This should be in bold or italics, that you need to give a disclosure about it. You remember this point or not? Yes, sir. We studied in clause number 6. So clause number 6 told us that this needs to be given in italics. And along with it, you need to mention the name of the regulator, because of which you are disclosing this thing, the jurisdiction where the regulator has the, you can say, power, and the rule or section because of which you are giving this disclosure. So these 3 things need to be mentioned: name of the regulator, jurisdiction, and rule or section. So first of all, you will quote clause number 6. Then you will write the points: no restriction on use of color, everything is allowed. Pull technology is allowed, not push technology. And last May, name of the clients and fees is not to be given. But if you are writing it because it is required by the regulator, then in italics you need to give certain things. Or what? You need to say that the requirement is because of the name of the regulator, having jurisdiction in the country where he has the jurisdiction, wide this rule. So because he has done this misconduct, he'll be liable for professional misconduct because of solicitation by advertisement. Got it? Got it, sir. Now let's move to question number 9. Amazing question. A partner of the firm of a CA during a TV interview. Many students get confused in this question. Please focus. Handed over a biodata of the firm to a chairperson. Such biodata detailed the standing of the international firm with which the firm was associated. It also detailed about the achievements of the partner and his recognition as an expert in the field of taxation. Chairperson read out the biodata during the interview. Discuss whether this action by CA will be a misconduct or not. Answer is yes. Now my question to all of you, which clause will get attracted? Because you get confused in clause 6 or 7. 6 or 7, here the memory technique will help you. Which clause talked about interview specifically? Sir, there was a clause which talked about CAPI. Solicitation by CAPI. CAPI means circular advertisement personal communication interview. So I for interview was talked in. Sir for 6, sir for solicit. So it was your clause number 6. It was your clause number 6 which helped you. Which helped you in what, sir? It helped you in solicitation. So you will write clause number 6. It prohibits solicitation of client or professional work by CAPI. CAPI means circular advertisement, personal communication interview, or by any other means. Then you will write about the facts of the case and just write simply that the person is guilty under clause number 6. Easy or not? Yes, sir. Now, many of you may say, sir, in clause 7 also they are talking about such things appearing on a TV interview. Can we write clause 7 also? You can write, but 6 is necessary. 6 is necessary. It should be there in your answer. Got it, sir. Now comes question number 10A and 10B. What does 10A talks about say? Advertisement was published in the newspaper containing the photograph of Mr. X, a member of institute, which was congratulated on the occasion of opening ceremony of the office. Everyone, please tell me, if I am publishing a newspaper advertisement, is it allowed for opening ceremony or is it allowed for 25 years, 50 years, 75 years or 100 years? Or is it allowed for silver jubilee, golden jubilee, platinum jubilee, centenary celebration? Sir, you taught us in the class that it is allowed for silver, golden, platinum, centenary celebration, but not for opening ceremony. So you will write here, sir, what? You will write clause number 6, part 1, first schedule, explain this clause. Then write the facts of the case and simply say that the person will be guilty under clause 6, part 1 of the first schedule. Got it or not? Got it, sir. Now comes B part. Mr. X, a CA and proprietor of X and Company, wrote several letters to the assistant registrar of a cooperative society stating that though his firm was on the panel of the auditor, no audit work was given to them and he was just disturbing them. Is roving inquiries allowed? Is roving inquiries allowed? Answer is no. Again, what you will do, write the answer as per clause 6. Talk about the facts of the case and say roving inquiries are not allowed, and again the person will be guilty under clause 6, part 1 of the first schedule. Got it or not? Got it, sir. I think 10 questions are done. Now let's move to question number 12. Mr. Niggle. Mr. Niggle, a CA in practice, delivered a speech in the national conference organized by a Ministry of Textiles. Got it, sir. While delivering the speech, he told the audience that he is a management expert. He is a management expert. And he provides services of taxation and audit at a reasonable rate. Also requested the audience to approach the firm for these services, and at the request of audience distributed his visiting card and telephone number. Two clauses will get attracted in this question. Why, sir? First clause says that he requested the audience to approach him. This is called solicitation. This is called asking for work. So this is solicitation. As for solicitation, clause 6 will get attracted. At the same time, sir, what is happening? It says section 7 and clause 7. Both of them say what? Sir, both of them say that you cannot advertise your professional attainment and you cannot use any designation or expression other than the chartered accountant in your documents. Since he is using the designation of management expert, he will be guilty under clause 7. Now you people may have a doubt. Sir, this different designation that he is using in a public place. He is using in a speech. You said that it is not allowed in a professional document. You are right. Your doubt is genuine. But now what is ICI's assumption? Sir, ICI's assumption is whenever he is using a different designation, even in speech, which clause will get attracted? Sir, clause 7 along with section 7. Along with clause 7, section 7 will get attracted. So please star mark this point so that you don't forget that even if a different designation is used during the speech, this clause 7 will get attracted. Then, sir, you can talk about the basic facts of the case. And then here one more thing is written. Sir, kya? Whenever you are appearing on the television or films, here they say that no reference can be made to the practicing member's name, address and services of the firm. Now, if you go to the notes, of the professional ethics, sir, let's do it together. Chalo, let's check the notes together and see what is given in the notes. Come to clause number 7 and see this part. Sir, if I am appearing on a television, if I am appearing on film, internet, or radio, you can give your name, describe yourself as CA. Specialized qualification or specialized knowledge, whatever is relevant, that can be given. And they have also said that the firm name can be mentioned. Firm name can be mentioned, but if you talk about this question that ICI has given in May 22 and April 21 MTP, they have said that the firm name cannot be mentioned. So, sir, what should we do? What should we do, sir? What should we do? What about this line? So, I will just suggest you that the notes are updated. The notes are updated and the notes wala language is just taken from ICS study material only. So now when they will be preparing the suggested answer, it will be as per ICS study material. So you can say that yes, the reference to the firm name can be given. It is not a problem. Okay? Problem is management expert. That's why he is guilty under clause 7. And then you can write clause 7 and clause 6. Got it? Got it, sir. So these are the points a student gets affected. That's why I have discussed that in detail. Now, sir, when we are done with question 12, let's move to question number 15. Everyone come to question number 15. Very important and amazing question. Mr. A newly qualified CA, started his practice and sought the clients through telephone calls. Got it, sir. From his family and friends. Person is saying, sir, that is physical interview. In that case, it is not allowed. See, yeah, for physical interview, that is not allowed. But for electronic, this is allowed. Okay? So in the question, I think they had written the question that we were doing just right now. Question 12. He gave a speech in national conference. Yes. So yeah, that is a physical thing. So that's why it is not allowed. Okay. If you are taking that interpretation, yes, then it is not allowed. Fine. Works. Because even in this part, when you are taking talks, lectures or conference, in this case, the firm name is not allowed. But if you see the starting wala line na here, starting wala line that they have picked is electronic only. That's why I was telling the discrepancy. Got it, Naveen? Yes, sir. Now, everyone, come with me to question number 15. Let's talk about question number 15 now. A person started his practice and sought clients through telephone calls from his family and friends, and almost all of them employed in one or the other retail trade business. So basically, he started calling the people that become my client. One of his friends, Mr. X, gave him an idea to start online services and give stock certification to the traders with cash credit limits in the bank. Got it, sir. Mr. A started a website with a colorful, catchy design and shared the website address on all his social media posts, stories, and tagged 30 traders with the caption "Easy Online Stock Certification Service." Can I say the website information should not circulate on its own? Website should always be on the pull model, not on the push model. Answer is yes. Besides, Mr. A entered in an agreement with a digital marketer to give 5% commission on each of the services procured through him. Discuss if the actions of Mr. A are valid in the light of professional ethics. So you people tell me first which clause will get attracted. Sir, he is soliciting. He is soliciting the services, so clause 6 will be attracted. So first of all, you will write clause number 6. Full clause 6 need to be written and say he is wrong in seeking the clients through the family and friends. Plus, creating a website is not a non-compliance provided you are complying with the guidelines. Mentioning the client name is also prohibited as per the guideline. Now you people tell me, is anywhere mentioned in the question that the client's name have been mentioned? Is anywhere in the question client's name have been mentioned or not? You people think and tell me. The answer is no. Client's name wala thing is not there in the question. It is not there in the question. They have just made it on their own. They have just made this point on their own. So just remember this different part. Now you can write the facts of the case and say that the person is guilty of professional misconduct under clause 6 part 1 of first schedule. Now many of you may be thinking, sir, what? Sir, he is giving 5% commission on each of the services procured through a digital marketer. So is this sharing of the fees with the digital marketer allowed? In this case, the clause 2 should be attracted. But Baba, just remember one thing. ICI has asked this question twice, and twice they have ignored clause number 2 part 1 of first schedule. So you also avoid that in your answer. You're getting the point or not? Yes, sir. Just give me. Yes, everyone. So I think question number 15 is done, done. Now come to question number 24. Chalo. Let's see what the question number 24 is talking about. Comment with reference to Chartered Accountant Act 1949 and schedules thereto. A special notice has been issued for a resolution at 3rd AGM providing expressly that CA Anup shall not be reappointed as the auditor of the company. Consequently, CA Anup submitted a representation in writing to be circulated to the members. In the detailed representation, he included the contributions made by him in strengthening the control procedures of the company and also indicated willingness to continue as an auditor if reappointed by the shareholders of the company. You people tell me, in which clause did we discuss about this point? Sir, we discussed this point in clause number 6. In clause number 6, you gave us a reference of section 140 subsection 4. And you said that whenever a CA has to be reappointed at an AGM and the shareholders doesn't want it, the CA gives a representation. But this representation should be set out in a very dignified manner. It should be set out in a very dignified manner that how he acted independently, how he acted conscientiously throughout the term of his audit. And if given a chance, he is willing to be reappointed as auditor. Can he make the comments about the internal controls he improved? Answer is no. Can he talk about the work that he did? Answer is no. It is to be done in a very dignified manner. Otherwise, it will be solicitation. So this is how you need to write your answer. First of all, write clause number 6. Then the part of section 140 subsection 4 that we discuss in the notes are what? That the letter should be set out in a dignified manner, how he acted independently and conscientiously throughout the term, and if reappointed, he is willing to continue as a auditor. Then, sir, you will talk about the facts of the case, and last may say this person is guilty of professional misconduct. Clear? Clear, sir. Now come to question number 29. Let's see what does the question 29 talks about. Chalo. Comment with reference to Chartered Accountant Act 1949 and schedules. Mr. Vineet, a CA in practice, created his own website. Again, a website wala question. Amazing question. In a very attractive format. Is attractive format allowed? Yes, sir. Purple color allowed? Purple. So beautiful, so elegant, just looking like a wow. Purple allowed? Yes, sir. Website also displayed the nature of assignment. Are the nature of assignment allowed? Or it is to be displayed on a pull request? Sir, this is to be disclosed on a pull request. With the name of the client without any requirement of regulator. Again, the client wala provision that we just discussed, italics. In italics, the name of the regulator, the rule, and the jurisdiction. These three things need to be mentioned. Also, the information on this website was circulated through email. Pull model, push model. Sir, pull model. The information on the website cannot circulate on its own. This is also bad. And he did not intimate the website address to the institute. So this point is not there in your ICI study material, but as per ICI, this also needs to be done. So see how it goes. First of all, write clause number 6. Then one karke talk about the points. There is no standard format or restriction on color, so there is no misconduct because of this. Second point, none of the information can circulate on the own or through email. It should be on a specific pull request. So there is a guilty of professional misconduct. Got it, sir. Nature of assignments handled should be displayed only on pull request. Name of the client and fees cannot be given unless it is required by the regulator, that too in italics wala thing. And last में, this is the point that you need to consider differently. Website address should be shared on an annual basis in the annual form with the fees with ICI. So this is one point that you need to consider separately, and the person is guilty. Clear? Clear, sir. Now we are going to move to question number 32. Chalo ji. Let's move to question number 32. Everyone take 2 sips of water and type in the chat box. Ready. A CA in practice is impaneled as a insolvency professional and mentioned the same in his visiting card, letterhead and other communication. A person residing in his neighborhood has filed a complaint. Generally, it is the neighborhood people who have the most problem with you. Okay? Whenever you do anything good, neighborhood people are like, now I will tell to ICAI. So neighborhood people filed a complaint of professional misconduct against the said member for mention of insolvency professional. You are required to examine the same with reference to Chartered Accountant Act 1949. Now you people tell me which clause talks about it. Which clause talks about it? So sir, there is only one clause which talks about professional documents. There is only one clause which talks about professional document, be it your visiting card, be it your signboard, or be it your letterhead. Which is that clause? Clause number 7. Clause number 7 talks about these professional documents. What is the clause which talks about designation? Sir, clause 7, section 7. Thala for a reason. Now, many of you ask the question in the doubt support, what is Thala for a reason? It is a meme on MS Dhoni. Okay? It is a tag associated with MS Dhoni. Okay, sir? So, clause 7 and section 7, both you need to quote here. And then, is insolvency professional allowed? Answer is yes. Only 2 designations are allowed, insolvency professional and registered valuer. So these are the 2 points that you need to consider. What? So first of all, you quote clause number 7 and say, a CA in practice shall be deemed to be guilty of professional misconduct if he advertise. If he advertise his professional attainments or services. Or the second point in clause 7, it talks about uses a designation other than chartered accountant on the professional documents. What are the professional document? First, you give the visiting card. When the person comes, he sees your signboard, and last may you give the report on the letterhead. So these are the documents you talk. What can you give? It can be a degree of university, degree you can use, ठीक है sir, or membership of the ICI or any institution recognized by C or C. C or C means central government or council. Now, sir, you can say you can mention insolvency professional on these documents and the complaint of the neighbor is invalid. The complaint of the neighbor is invalid. This is the point you need to consider. Got it? Got it, sir. Now, since we are done with question 32, you have a doubt. Sir, can we quote section 7 also? Answer is yes. In addition to clause 7, you can also quote section 7 in your answer. Question number 36. Chalo, sir. Let's move on to question 36. RTP May 20. Comment with reference to Chartered Accountant Act 1949. This is your keyword to know professional ethics question. OPEC and Associates, a firm of CS, has responded to a tender. Tender coconut water. Responded to a tender issued exclusively for chartered accountants by an organization in the area of tax audit. No minimum fees was prescribed. So you people tell me, just help me revise the what concept of tender. Sir, very simple. Tender can be for 2 types of services, exclusive and non-exclusive. If it is a non-exclusive service, that means any person can apply. You can also apply as a chartered accountant. But if it is exclusive for chartered accountant, for example, audit, minimum fees has to be prescribed. Minimum fees has to be prescribed. So everyone just focus here. So first of all, you will write about clause 6 and then say member will not respond to any tender which is exclusive for the areas of chartered accountant, example audit. But you can respond if the minimum fees is prescribed. So since in this case no minimum fees was prescribed, so person will be guilty of professional misconduct. Yes or no? Yes, sir. 36B is done. Now after 36B, 36B also let's do. 36B we can't do. Wait. 39A. 39A, where is 39A? Sir, you see na, why are you asking us? Sorry. Arey, Srishti and Mishti. Oh, CA Srishti and Mishti are the 2 partners of the CA firm, Srishti, Mishti and Associates. Being very pious. Pious means God's favorite. praying to God always. Being very pious, CA Srishti organized a religious ceremony at her home, for which she instructed the printing agent to add her designation chartered accountant. Can on the invitation card designation of chartered accountant allowed? Answer is yes, with her name in the invitation card. Later on, the invitation was distributed to the relatives, close friends, and clients of both the partners. Whose party it was? Sir, it was the party of Srishti. So if it is Srishti's party, she can only distribute to her own family members, that is the relatives, friends and clients, not to Mishti wala people. So how you need to write the answers are very easy. First of all, you will write clause number 6. Then you will say only to the clients, relative or close friends of the member concerned. Then you will write the facts of the case and say that the person is guilty of professional misconduct. Got it, sir. Now many of you can say, sir, both of them must be having the same client. Both of them must be having the same client because they have the same firm. I agree. But how are they having the same relatives? How are they having the same friend? That is not allowed. Okay? So this is the point to be considered. Now comes part B. Part B we have to do? No, sir. Part B we don't have to do. 41. Question number 41. Let's do pehle. Chalo. A letter is sent by Mr. Raja, a chartered accountant in practice, to the Ministry of Finance inquiring whether a panel of auditors is maintained by the ministry, and he wanted his name to be included in the panel. He also enclosed his CV. Is he guilty or not? So he's not disturbing them again and again. He just called once and asked them whether a panel is made or not. Is this a problem? Please tell me. Is this a problem? Answer is yes, this is a problem. Sir, but he's not disturbing them again and again. Baba, you can make an inquiry only when you know that the panel exists. You cannot call any Tom, Dick and Harry and say, hello, is there a panel of auditor? If yes, include my name. If you know about the panel, then only you can make a call and get your name included. You are getting the point or not? Yes, sir. This is also a roving inquiry. So how you need to write your answer? Again, you will quote clause number 6 because it is a solicitation wala thing and say, Council has opined that where the existence of the panel is within the knowledge of the member, he knows about the panel, then he is free to write to the organization for getting his name included in the panel. Not proper to make roving inquiries. Got the point or not? Yes, sir. And then say Mr. Raja is guilty. Mr. Raja is guilty. This is the point you need to consider. Got it? Got it, sir. Question number 41 is done. Now let's focus on question 44. CA Nikhil started his project consultancy work as a part of his practice, and to increase the same, to advance the same, sent mail to all the CAs in the country informing them about his services and for securing a professional work. Comment with reference to Chartered Accountant Act 1949. Can a CA in practice do sadi? Sadi. What was sadi, sir? Clause 6. Sadi. Securing, accepting, requesting or inviting work from another CA in practice. Answer is yes. This was allowed as an exception. This was allowed as an exception that you can seek work from another CA in practice. Sir, but in this question, they have written all CAs. So Baba, here you have to assume. Here you have to assume that these are CA in practice and the answer will be allowed. Oh, sir, how can you say that? How will we get to know in the exam that we have to assume this? Now I have made you do this question and it was asked in MTP May 20. So this assumption you have to carry with yourself. So clause 6 and then you need to write the proviso that nothing will prevent the person from sadi. Sadi means securing, applying, requesting or inviting. All are same things but the keywords will match with your answer. From another CA in practice. So yes, the person has not committed any professional misconduct. 44 is also done. Just 4 or 5 questions more, then we will wrap up the session. Question number 52. Chalo. Now let's talk about question 52. Again, an easy question. Mr. M, a CA in practice, has printed visiting card. Whenever I am talking about professional documents, which clause gets attracted? Clear? Clear, sir. This also carries a QR code. Visiting card carries a QR code and it contains the name, office, and residential address, contact details, and the name of the firm's website. Is this allowed? Answer is yes, this is allowed. This is not a problem. So clause 7 will come. Then you will say all these things are allowed and then say the person is not guilty. Easy, easy, sir. After question number 52, let's do question number 58. Oh, sir, May 2012. 12 years old, 13 years old question. Okay? Now let's see. Am a practicing chartered accountant sent a letter to another firm of CAs claiming himself to be a pioneer. Pioneer means expert. Expert in liaising with central government. That means he has a lot of contacts with the central government ministry and its department for getting various government clearances, for which he has claimed to have expertise, and gave a list of all his existing clients and details. You people tell me, if I am seeking work from another CA in practice, should it be done in a proper way, or I should say, give me work, I will help you get a lot of clearances from the central government and all. Sir, this is not allowed. This is not allowed. This hanky-panky things are not allowed. So how will you write the answer? Clause 6. You cannot claim your superiority over any other firm or member, and you cannot include the name of your clients and all. Got it, sir? So in the present case, you will just write the fact of the case and say the person is guilty. The person is guilty. The person is guilty. This is how you need to write your point. Got it? Got it, sir. Now when we are done with question 50, अच्छा हाँ, they have just mentioned the point of write up here. ठीक है? So if this letter वाला thing they have taken, consider it with the write up. I don't know how they are linking it with write up. So please consider this point separately here. Got it, sir? Now 58 question is done. Let's move to question number 61. Chalo, let's see this question. During the opening ceremony of a new branch office of CA Young, his friend CA Old introduced CA Young to his client Mr. Rich. So there are two people. Sir, this is so confusing. Just understand. There is a CA Young and sir, there is a CA Old. Both of them are chartered accountant. Then there is a client and the name of the client is Mr. Rich. Let's keep it very simple. Who is the owner of a export house whose account has been audited by CA Old? So CA Old is the auditor of Mr. Rich. Okay, sir. Then see, after a few days, Mr. Rich approaches CA Young. So Old was doing the work of Rich. Now Rich is approaching CA Young. ठीक है, sir. For what? For a certification work. He is approaching him for a certification work which was before done by CA Old. So what is happening? Sir, Rich was getting a certification work by CA Old. Now he is approaching CA Young for that work. Got it, sir? Then it says Young undertook the work for which a fees was not less than the before wala CA. So both of them are charging the same fees for the same work. Got it, sir? Now tell me, has Young done a professional misconduct? Old introduced Young to his client. Now the client is giving Old's work to Mr. Young. Should Young accept it? Or should Young ask the client to come via Old? Sir, he should ask the client to come via his friend. He should not accept the work directly. And I think I gave this example through a marriage ceremony. Through a marriage ceremony, I gave this example. So point is, the person is not allowed. So clause 6 part 1 first schedule is the first thing that you will quote. And then sir, you will write this point that you will never accept the original professional work emanating to work from a client who is introduced from by the other member. Then write the facts of the case and say that the person is guilty. Who is guilty? Old is guilty or Young is guilty? Sir, Old to is in tension. Old to is in tension, that is client is gone. Young is guilty. Young will be held guilty for accepting this work. Got the point or not? Yes, sir. Now everyone, question number 61 is done. Now let's move to question number 64. This is a good question. July 21 new syllabus. Messrs SR and Associates, one of the three firms shortlisted by a bank for the assignment of statutory audit for financial year 2021. Bank mailed the list of branches to the audit firms along with maximum fees. So for statutory audit, they mailed the maximum fees and asked them to submit the quotation. SR and Associates responded to the bank and submitted their quotation. You people tell me, can I respond to a tender which is exclusive for the chartered accountant and in which maximum fees has been mentioned? Sir, maximum is not allowed. It's about minimum. Maximum is not allowed. It's about minimum. So clause 6, write about the provisos, and in the provisos say that a member shall not respond to a tender that is exclusively for chartered accountants such as audit and attestation, but he can respond where the minimum fees is prescribed. But because in this question maximum fees is given, the person will be guilty of professional misconduct. Got it sir. 64 is also done. Just three more question, everyone just stay with me. Question number 70. Come to question number 70 in your question bank. Yes sir, we are here. Mr. SP, a chartered accountant obtains registration as a category 4 merchant banker and acts as an advisor to the capital issue of MBN company. He designates himself under the caption merchant banker in the client offer documents and advisor to the issue in his own letterhead. Can you people tell me, is it allowed in the offer document mentioning myself as a merchant banker or advisor to issue? Answer is yes, this is allowed. But if I talk about my own letterhead, visiting card or professional document, is it allowed? Answer is no. So which clause and section gets attracted whenever it is about designation? Clause 7, section 7. So first of all, you will write clause 7. Then sir, along with it, I think you should also write section 7. I don't know why they have not written it. And then you will say that this thing is allowed on the, where it is written, yes, in the client company's offer documents and advertisement, this thing is allowed. Name and address of the CA could be indicated under the caption advisor or consultant to issue, but not allowed to use this designation on the own letterhead, visiting card or professional document. Then relate with the facts of the case and say that the person will be guilty. So it's a good mix of your clause 7 and section 7 ka provisions. Question 70 done. Now let's focus on question 73A. Mr. Raj, a renowned practicing chartered accountant, decided to tie the knot with Anjali. No sir, it is Anjani. While giving the order for marriage invitation card, Raj instructed to add his designation chartered accountant with his name. So it will be written as Raj, the chartered accountant. Later on, the cards were distributed to all his relatives, all his clients, all his close friends. So sir, this is allowed. This is allowed. This is not a misconduct. So clause 6, write about the provision that whenever there is a marriage, there is any ceremony or what sir, any invitation for marriage ceremony or any other matter, in the greeting card they can be sent to your relatives, your friends and your clients. It is allowed. So this person will not be guilty of any professional misconduct. Sir, 73A done. Now let's focus on question number 85. Where is the question number 85? 85. Tambola. CA Praful has recently qualified and obtained a certificate of practice. In the initial years, he is taking time to set up the clients. He is also conducting the audit of few entities. Simultaneously, he plans to provide coaching to CA students to take the advantage of the fresh reservoir of knowledge. Therefore, he advertises his classes on social media platform, comment with reference to Chartered Accountant Act 1949. What did we study about this provision in the class? Sir, it is very simple. There is a CA in practice who is running the firm, at the same time providing teaching activities. Now, if I am promoting the teaching activities, I am getting promoted. If I am getting promoted, my firm is also indirectly getting promoted. So just understand it like this. These are the coaching activities. This is the firm. Who is giving? I am giving. If I am promoting the coaching activities, I am getting promoted. If I am getting promoted, the firm is also getting promoted. So this is indirect solicitation. This is indirect solicitation and this is not allowed. So sir, what is allowed? In front of my coaching premises, I can put a signboard in which I can tell what are the subjects taught and what are the contact details. Those things are allowed. So this is how you need to write your answer, sir. First of all, Regulation 190A. Regulation 190A is one thing most of the CA students will forget. Sir, Regulation 190A says that a CA will not engage in any business or occupation other than chartered accountancy except with the permission of the council. Now, sir, general permission has been provided in 190A that private tutorship is allowed. Private tutorship or part-time tutorship under a coaching organization is allowed. There is no problem in that. Got it, sir? And it should not exceed 25 hours a week. You can say favorite point of ICI in MCQ. But same time, you will also quote clause number 6 and say that if you are advertising your online coaching activities, it is an indirect solicitation. So you can engage in private tutorship but cannot advertise the coaching activities. So CA Praful will be guilty. CA Praful will be guilty of professional misconduct. Okay, boss? Okay, sir. So till here, all your questions which were related to clause 7 till clause number 7 part 1 of first schedule, all your questions are done. In the next session, we will cover the questions of clause 8, 9, 10 and 11 of your first schedule. So I hope you enjoyed this session. Thank you so much for joining in. And yes, keep studying with happiness, because when we study with happiness, then only we progress. Keep going. All the best. Have a good day.